Hello, my lovelies. Let's see what's going on with the spiritual realm. Let's see what messages Spirit has for us. What is happening for my collective? What do they need to know? I feel like there's this uncertain energy. So let's see. Yeah, because you're going in a new direction. So Spirit needs you to kind of hit the pause button. They need you to kind of rest and reset is what's coming through, because you're going to be asked to reevaluate exactly what success means in your world. Maybe that means that your daily routine changes. Maybe that means that you're restructuring things at the job you work at, the office, so that you can actually transform things into a new direction, because Spirit's going to push you out of a comfort zone and towards something else. So it's time to reevaluate what success looks like. So you're going to have to negotiate some things. Maybe that's how you work things out. Maybe it's a pay scale. Maybe it's going in a different direction that's better suited for what it is that you need. So Spirit's asking you to rise to challenges as a new path opens, right? New direction, new path. So we've got to go in a different way. And Spirit wants you to remember how to dream and how to have a sense of wonder again. So needing to follow your dreams. Have you lost that sense of excitement or wonder? Have things just become kind of boring, lackluster? There's some things that are changing within you. And then we have acceptance. So I feel like there's some major changes that are coming through. Some of it might have to do with like home relationships, domestic partnerships, things like that. Some of it might have to do with work, but we're going through some major changes collectively. All right, how do we raise the vibe? What do we need to know? Facing shadow. Facing your shadow removes darkness from the world, right? By doing the shadow work, we're eliminating some of that darkness. We're exposing it to the light, which means that things start to change and transform. And that brings in certain manifestations or things that you've put out there. So believe it before you will see it, right? You're going to have to manifest from a place that you already have it. Part of that is removing the fear attached to it so that you can actually welcome in the things that you want. What else do they need to see? Living with purpose brings me prosperity. So this is about following your dreams as well. So are you living with purpose, or are you just kind of on autopilot? Sometimes I feel like it takes us a really long time to figure out what we're here to do. But once we have figured out what we're here to do, then we have to start actually walking in that purpose, right? We've got to actually start living that. So walk your talk and all that shit. So I feel like you're also going to be blessed with prosperity and abundance for fulfilling your calling, what you're here to do. So the truth is your teacher, and the truth will set you free. So there's some big lessons I feel like that are coming through with all these changes, but they're for the betterment of yourself and others around you. All right, what do we need to know from the dragons? What do the dragons need to tell us? Avalon. So we're going towards Christ consciousness, right? The 5D, spiritual enlightenment, peace, love, harmony. I had an old girlfriend, she used to call it peace, love, and chicken grease. She just thought that was the funniest thing. Spirit needs you to remember to stop and smell the roses. You also need to enjoy your journey. Not everything is always, roses and unicorns, but we need to find the good in all things. So maybe you find beauty in nature today. Maybe you stop and buy yourself some flowers. But remember to enjoy the simple things along the journey, as well as restoring your peace. I feel like you could be called to be in a more peaceful energy. I feel like your calling, your purpose will also help you align with that energy. And then the truth, right, is a revelation. So I do feel like Spirit's trying to give you some sort of clue or inkling of what's changing for you in a positive way. What do we need to know from the angels? Thank you, angels. What messages do you have? Ooh, maybe time to cut the cords somewhere. That's interesting. You're cutting the cords so you can go in a new direction towards peace, harmony, happiness, bliss, and your purpose, right? But part of that comes from you facing your fears, facing your shadows, so that you can sever ties with all of these things that are no good for you. If you feel like you're unable to cut ties or to sever ties with people or situations, ask the angels to help you do that. They will come in and they will, cut things off that are no good for you, because they need you to do the work. They need you to get to a point where you're able to manifest the things in your life that you want, to be able to live in your purpose, to walk authentically and to be who you truly are. So sometimes Spirit wants us to take a step back, right? Sometimes we have to hit that pause button and we have to allow Spirit to kind of move things out of the way, or to help guide us on a new path, or to line up things behind the scenes so that we can get to where we need to be to fulfill our calling, to fulfill our purpose. So I feel like by sitting in peaceful energy, following your dreams, living authentically, and to just kind of allow things to flow right now, you're going to make it exactly where you're supposed to be. And part of the sacred plan is being revealed to you. So there could be a revelation, there could be some sort of truth that's showing up for you because some things are drastically changing in your world. All right, anything else they need to know about their spiritual guidance this week, Spirit? What else do they need to see? Yeah, there's been a lot of conflict and chaos, right? Swirling around just energetically. I feel like there could be some competition in whatever it is that you do. There could be some rivalry. There could be, catty energy, or people who are just out there to kind of sabotage the good stuff. That's what I feel like Spirit needs you to kind of cut off and walk away from and go in a different direction. Yeah, and things are changing quickly. So it's almost like once you make up your mind and you start to actually kind of connect the dots and line things up, that's when things really start to gain some progress and some forward momentum. We're in retrogrades right now, so it's kind of a waiting process for things to change, to come into alignment. But you also have to come into balance in order to get things back on track. It's like if you have a flat tire, the other three might be working great, but that one is kind of causing some problems. So you've got to get things back in balance. I do feel like for work, things are going to change abruptly and for the better. You could have an unexpected visitor coming to you. It could be an unexpected job offer. It could mean that you have to travel, move, or relocate for a job. Maybe that's something you want. Maybe you don't. Again, you're going to have to evaluate those things. But you're about to get a lot of attention. So Spirit needs you to be prepared for that. I feel like for some of you, being in the spotlight is something you never wanted, right? You just kind of maybe wanted to be a wallflower. For others of you, I feel like it's a welcome change. I feel like, maybe you thrive in the spotlight, and for others of you, you're like, yeah, no thanks. So you're going to have to make some adjustments because this is part of your destiny, right? This is part of why you're here, is to fulfill this purpose or this calling. Yeah, because you're about to be the star. You're about to be the center of attention. I feel like you're also going to kind of knock the competition out of the water just by being who you truly are. So don't feel like you got to fake it till you make it. Don't feel like you have to pretend. Just be you. That's all that's required. Doing the work, being yourself, being authentic. And then things start to fall into alignment for you. The star is telling you to keep hope alive. It's a wish fulfillment coming in divine timing. And so for some of you, because you've been putting in the hard work, Spirit's aligning things for you. I feel like you're about to make more money than you've ever made. Whether it's a current job or a different job coming in, but because you've been doing the hard work, and they're telling me because you've sacrificed so much, because you've done so much inner shadow, deep, hard work, Spirit's coming in with the reward for all of that. I love that. So I feel like there's a lot of emotions that are coming to the surface. I feel like you're going to be overwhelmed when this offer comes in. Better than expected. I love that. All right, so we've got to let go of the heavy burdens, the things that are weighing us down to get to the good stuff, right? That's super important. For some of you, you also have new love that's coming in. I feel like better than expected. This could be a wish fulfillment. Maybe there's been a lot of negative stuff going on in love that just didn't pan out, but that's going to change as well. Two of Cups in the reverse. You may have had some endings. There may have been some breakups. I feel like for some of you, things are going to kind of come full circle. Maybe you're going to rekindle things. Maybe you are going in a totally different direction. But I do think that you need to stride out into new territory and try new things because it leads to a lot of happiness, marriage, children, commitment, all those things. But you first have to make a choice of how you get there. And don't forget to rest and recover because that's important. Judgment's telling us that time is up. These things are changing. We're at the final last leg of the journey in order to get to the good stuff. And we know the good stuff is coming. So allow all of the negative things to leave your life. Allow them one by one one to walk out the door and hold it open and know that in its place you are welcoming in abundance, you are welcoming in love, you're welcoming in happiness, and ultimately a fresh start and a new beginning. Welcome to the 5D.